I walk into the garage and I still can't believe what I see. Even though it's been here a couple weeks now, it's still just awesome. Today, I have a little bit of time. I'm going to work on pulling this hood off so I can time that magneto and also identify the serial number of the engine. That will help date this. So that wasn't too difficult. Just the screws on the engine shroud and then 2 bolts on the hood stand up there. But this engine does not have the timing marks per the manual. There should be a slot here for the 20 degrees before top dead center mark that you can use to time it with a timing light. And then there's also a mark at top dead center, which is also in line with the keyway. So this appears to be a threaded pulley. I guess my next step, unfortunately, is going to be removing that so I can look for that keyway and index that at 90 degrees straight up and down. So I'm learning as I go a little bit, and that noise that I keep hearing is actually the magneto basically making that spark bang. So I rotated it for a while and started looking, and with a flashlight I was able to find right there on that fin there's an X. And also looking down, I know it's really hard to focus and there's not very good light. Let's see here. You can see just barely where that crank pulley goes. There's the keyway. Oh look, and there's DC on the flywheel. So, hey look, there's a timing mark. That little indentation, I bet, there's top dead center. Yes, this is awesome. I am seriously figuring this out as I go because I didn't see that before I started videoing. I only saw that X, so that's good stuff right there. Now back over on this side on that inspection cover, I just can barely see that tooth, where you can just see the top corner, is, there it is, marked X. So I am 1 tooth off. I guess the good news here is I can fix that. I can just remove those 2 screws, top and bottom. This is actually a through bolt, and then that one's just a stud with a nut. And I can take this back off. Now also that I can get it back in time, I'm going to do some troubleshooting on the components of this magneto as well. This reminds me of a Toby Keith song, and such a cool old tractor. You may or may not like my singing, but this reminds me of Made in America. That line, there ain't nothing that he can't fix. With WD-40 and a Craftsman wrench, he ain't prejudiced. He's just made in America. He loves his wife, she's that wife. Decorates on the 4th of July, but says every day is Independence Day. Okay, well, I've got this back together. My coil had like 0.7 ohms, and I had a continuity issue between this stud here and getting through the points. And even though I had filed them, I don't know what happened. They could have been dirty or had some contaminant on the file. But I filed them again, and then I polished them with a dollar bill. and then the continuity would open and close like the points breaker should. So I put it back together, and right there you can see that X. So I need to be just below 90 degrees to get that in, and then it'll rotate up and in place during assembly. All right, I believe that DC there is lined up with the timing mark on top. And though it is not tightened up, that X is in the center of that inspection hole. Alright, so I have the Magneto back on, and I have just a ground wire running to the spark plug here. And so I hope to roll it over and check for spark. And I don't have any reason to believe that it won't work, but you never know. And just like that, it doesn't work. Huh. Maybe my ground wire isn't good. I wouldn't think that's the case, but I've seen crazier things. Nothing. So this definitely appears to be the original coil, and there should be two resistance values, and one's like 0.7 ohms and the other one is well over 8 ohms, and I believe it's from this terminal to ground. But no matter what I've done, I cannot get a phone call. Yeah, as I was saying, I cannot get any other resistance values other than between these two wires. So I believe that this coil is compromised. I tried the local parts store, and they were having a hard time finding a coil for this XH WICO Magneto. So I turned to Steiner Tractor, and they are a Michigan company, and they had a coil, and I did have to buy that bar separate, which is just goofy in my mind, and I probably could have pressed this one out, but I figured if I'm replacing it, I'm probably going to kick myself for this, but I might as well just do it all. So that's replaced, or will be replaced. The points, let's see here. You can see that there is a bit of wear, and you can see there's that, there you go, that spot right there is pretty worn looking. So I got another set of points, and I have a condenser on the way as well, just because I'm doing everything else, I might as well. So it's going to be a few days probably for that all to get here, and otherwise I'll be getting this all back together. I have read that these have a tendency to lose their magnetic pull, but as I rotate this, it is finding its magnetic field. So I have no worry about the magnetic characteristics. It's just getting spark. So I have a feeling if I were to replace just the coil, I'd be good to go, but I'm going to do everything else just because.